On Wednesday, the District of Columbia renamed part of the street in front of the Embassy of Saudi Arabia. It's now called Jamal Khashoggi Way. Khashoggi was the Saudi journalist whose murder U.S. intelligence says was sanctioned by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Biden condemned the journalist's murder, vowed to make Saudi Arabia a pariah nation, and even refused to speak with MBS on the phone. But next month, President Biden will meet with him in Jeddah as part of what senior administration officials say is a reset in relations. To find out what's behind the about face, let me bring in Tarek Masoud, a professor at Harvard's Kennedy School of Government. Tarek, first, let's just talk about the country that Biden is going to visit, because everything I have heard tells me that Saudi Arabia in the last few years has really experienced a kind of revolution.
I think that's exactly right, Fareed. I mean, if I were to summarize the state of Saudi Arabia today, I'd say it is a country that's undergoing one of the most dramatic transformations that we've seen any country go through in living memory. It's transforming from a place that was really at least had its social life in the grip of a kind of 13th century religious reaction to joining the modern world. The problem, of course, is that very positive transformation is happening at the hands of a leader who is kind of an Arab autocrat out of central casting.
So one of the reasons this trip was so hard for Biden is that he faced criticism. He himself had expressed some of it about the Saudi regime, not just on the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, but also more generally the autocracy of Mohammed bin Salman. Is this just a case that economic interests are trumping human rights? How to think about America's relationship with Saudi Arabia in that context?
Yeah, certainly, Fareed, a lot of people feel that what's happening now by President Biden visiting Saudi Arabia and seeming to let bygones be bygones is that Mohammed bin Salman is being allowed to quite literally get away with murder. I think that what President Biden is coming around to is the fact that we have a lot of interests in this part of the world, and the solution to a lot of the problems that we seek to solve, the roads run through Riyadh, or at least they have a stop in Riyadh. If you want to combat, Iranian adventurism in the region, if you want to break the Palestinian-Israeli impasse, if you want to end the tragic bloodshed in Yemen, all of these roads have a stop in Saudi Arabia. And you could potentially skip that stop sometimes, but you couldn't do it without making life a lot more difficult for yourself. In addition, remember, Fareed, let's come back to the fact that Saudi Arabia is really undergoing this transformation. It's a positive transformation. It's one that we've wanted to see in that part of the world for a long time. And it has ripple effects elsewhere in the Muslim world. The fact that Saudi Arabia is no longer exporting that particular brand of Islam that we found so troublesome is a very positive development. So you want to encourage that. And when I think of the U.S.-Saudi relationship, I think of this line from an early Arab leader who said, the relationship between me and my people is like a thread. I hold one end, my people hold the other. Now, when they tug on the thread, I loosen it a little bit. When they loosen their grip on the thread, I tighten. But above all, I don't let the thread break. And I think that's a pretty good metaphor for how our relationship with Saudi Arabia should be conducted.
Now, we know what Biden wants from MBS. He wants Saudi Arabia to pump more gas, more oil to get prices down. My question to you is, what does Saudi Arabia want? Because, presumably there is something that the Saudis feel they need to get from the U.S.
Well, remember that Saudi Arabia has been treated by this administration, or they've at least felt treated by this administration, as if they are, in fact, what President Biden labeled them on the campaign trail, pariah. What Saudis are also very concerned with is the fact that the United States seems to be running headlong into trying to restart a relationship with Iran, which the Saudis see as the major miscreant in their region. So I think the Saudis would definitely like the reset to involve the United States being much more committed to limiting Iranian ambitions in the region. But I think basically the Saudis want as much of a reset with this relationship as the Americans do, and they want the U.S. to talk about Saudi Arabia as an ally and to deepen the ties with that country.
And finally, can the Saudis deliver on what Biden wants? Can they pump out more oil? They are what is often called the largest swing producer in the world. They have the capacity to increase production.
Certainly, President Biden has access to much better economic advisors than I do, but the fact of the matter is that there are a lot of reasons why oil prices are high right now, one of which is the tightening supply as a result of the war in Ukraine. But let's remember, the International Energy Agency says that Russian oil production is going to decline by 3 million barrels a day by July. Saudi Arabia's excess capacity is about a third of that. So every little bit helps, of course, but I'm not sure the entirety of the solution to the high oil price problem lies in Riyadh. And I'm sure that President Biden wants more from this visit to Saudi Arabia than just more Saudi oil production. There's a lot of issues on which the United States needs and wants Saudi Arabian cooperation. And so I think President Biden will want to come out of this visit with much more than just a commitment to pump some more oil.
Tarek Masoud, pleasure to have you on, as always.
Thank you, Fareed.
Next on GPS, we'll look at two nations. At one time, they were both great symbols of how diversity might thrive in democracy. Now, both are riding down dangerous roads of illiberalism.